Back in the 20th century, when Jose Ferrer and Rita Moreno were around, the only chances they had at work were the limited roles. The Latin lover, criminal, spicy Latina, or the maid. Hell, they even made us a foreigner at one point. Maybe we're not where we want to be in the 21st century, but for people like George Lopez, Fanny Price, and J-Lo to come into the scene and help make changes into the industry, I think we're heading somewhere great. We just need to help make sure that we break down those doors, shatter those glass ceilings, and make people understand that our stories matter too, for good. Sean Ortiz, Variante Episode 1 Screenplay. Doesn't that just sound so inspirational? I mean, Sean's attitude is more positive than mine when I have to get up in the morning and make a 30-minute commute to school.
Hi, my name is Natalie Feliciano. I am a self-published author on Amazon, an inspiring filmmaker, and current college student at Berg Community College, where today I will be presenting you a 5-episode YouTube series as part of the Mellon's Fellowship Research Program, in which today I'm showcasing behind the lack of Latino representation. Even though Latinx representation is getting better these days, I will be breaking down today the screenplay that I mentioned in the last episode of Valiente, along with the 5 hard Latinx stereotypes that are implemented into television and film, and ones that a lot of Latinx talent had to unfortunately play in the past. Story entitled Valiente, Victoria Diaz is a 16-year-old girl who was once a mega childhood star that returned to a normal life after her hit show Dreams of Lima, that was supposed to be a great positive means of representation for the Latinx community, especially young Latinx girls, in the 2000s, was canceled. Not to mention, this screenplay that I wrote takes place 1 year after the events of the short film that I published right here on my YouTube channel about a year ago, and you can watch it actually right here in this box or link or whatever that's appearing on the screen, I hope.
In the plot of the 1-hour special episode, Victoria has had a leadway time getting back into the world of acting. After she spends time in the NDRVA scene, she tries out for an opening casting call for the role of Willow, a new Netflix superhero that possibly was better than anything that DC has to offer.
However, in very controversial circumstances, during the audition, she was asked to do the audition again right on the spot from a very shady casting director that asked her to do it specifically in a Sofia Vergara accent, aka the spicy Latina. When she does it and actually does a very spot-on Sofia Vergara accent, she still does not get the part of Willow and is awfully rejected from the part. This, of course, sends Victoria into kind of a downward spiral as a result of the rejection from the big opportunity that could land her right back into Hollywood's arms and become the icon she once was as a child. This experience actually makes her reflect on everything from her career to the status of Latinx talent in the industry to where she's going to take her career next and how she can combat this thanks to her own subconscious. And no, she's not crazy. She just dyed her hair red, but it's a phase, I promise.
The screenplay highlights the experience of how psychologically damaging yet motivating the one-sided narrative Hollywood has portrayed Latinos in for so many years really is. And remember, I wrote this screenplay taking place in 2010 because I wanted to feel like a kid again and not be reminded that we've experienced a worldwide pandemic and not just a party rock pandemic. Oh, would it have been fun to be a millennial? Because during this time, the Latinx representation progress wasn't so progressive as it is right now in 2023, with Netflix shows like Wednesday on My Block, the spinoff of My Block, Free Ridge, or even One Day at a Time. Even Warner Brothers and the Heights has made strides for the community, and Disney's Encanto. But instead, in the 2010s, and may I argue, even to this day, we are slowly learning how to break away from the horrific stereotypes that have been perpetrated on the community for decades. For example, let's start with the spicy Latina. Right smack dab in the beginning of the episode, Victoria is asked to do a Sofia Vergara accent. The actress that plays Gloria Maria Ramírez Delgado Bridget. Damn, that was long. She is portrayed as a woman from a small village in Colombia, also known as the murder capital of the country, who marries Jay Pridgett, an American lawyer who invites her into the role of wife, homemaker, and an interesting addition to the family. Despite these attributes, Gloria also seems to have a complexity to her character, as she's also portrayed as a woman who has the story of strong family values, hardworking values, and above all, a woman that comes from the definition of the American dream. The very watered-down version of the sexy, exotic Latina sex pots. We have to pay respect to where it's due. But along with the watered-down versions of the spicy Latina, in the 2000s and 2010s, also introduced the modern-day Latin lover. Not Roman Navarro, but Enrico Suave from Hannah Montana. Again, a watered-down version from this stereotype. Enrico was Miley's brother and a best friend's arch nemesis who came from a wealthy Latino family. Okay, something different. And was gifted genius abilities. Okay, I love the representation. But who still had to emphasize his Latinidad to his Caucasian counterparts every chance he got. I mean, every single chance he got. Yikes. Like any Latino character up to this point in Hollywood, we just had to be reminded that he was Latino. Along with the spicy Latina and the Latin lover, let's not forget the 150 maid roles that late actress Lupe Alvarez had to play. And oh my lord, did she have to play those. Only having 2 meaningful roles with characters that were actually 3-dimensional and had a story to them. Yolanda Salval from Selena, and the mother of Anna and Real Women Have Curves. Oh my gosh, that was such a good movie. Let's not forget Consuela, who is a very, very famous character in the Family Guy and adult cartoon universe. She is known for her lemon pepper or whatever she says, but it's not like she doesn't have some kind of dimension to her character. I mean, that one episode where she reunited with her husband at the border before, that's a case that we can't fix. Also, anyone remember J-Lo as the elevated maid in Maid of Manhattan? That's how we beat stereotypes, by literally being the maid, but in a main role. Jumping to the criminal/gangster stereotype. Throughout many of the years, especially the 80s, a lot of non-Latino actors ran this stereotype to the ground, like this guy did throughout all of the 80s. We were also given chances to portray this character ourselves and be the spotlight of the main enemy, some kind of negative thing that had to do with the story. In recent years, we have been reintroduced into a more positive light on the negative stereotype, with 2018's On My Block on Netflix making a groundbreaking series literally about a boy in a gang and his friends trying to get him out of that lifestyle, finding hidden money in the mainly minority neighborhood of Free Ridge. A heartwarming Netflix original that deserves an Emmy, Oscar, or Global Academy Award. Let's not forget the foreign immigrant stereotype that, thank God, we no longer really see on television these days, especially with the Netflix revolution of contributing to Latinx representation despite canceling the shows. But anyways, let's focus on the good parts, okay? Speedy Gonzalez from Looney Tunes in the 70s was accompanied along Porky the Pig that was a stereotype against stutters, and just about any other Looney Tune character that there is. It resurfaced and it got canceled, and it was so bad that Gabriel Iglesias had to come and defend him on Twitter. Yeah, so that's when you know it's bad.
Next time, we will be diving more into the Valiente screenplay as we discuss how was the representation then versus now in order to understand our history better and to understand how to not make the same mistakes that Hollywood has been making with this one-sided narrative for so long. And honestly, guys, I hope this project helps make a little bit of a difference when it comes to the topic of Latinx representation and to understand the issue at hand better. Until next time, I'm Natalie Feliciano, and thank you for watching.